What's up everybody, it's your boy Leo from CS.MONEY, and before we start, I'd like to know, are you one of those guys who play CSGO for hours trying to learn every little thing about this game? Congrats then, you came to the right place. Even if you play only for fun, you will surely find a whole bunch of interesting and useful information in today's video. This time we're gonna learn literally everything about our favorite weapon, AK-47. Basic info, little known facts, the most efficient ways of using this rifle, all of this and more will be discussed in this very video. Make yourself comfortable and clean some extra space in your head for the lots of information I'm going to provide right away. Alright, here we go. Let's start with simple things. I think you already know all this stuff, but we also know that repetition is the mother of learning. So let's recap some of the basic points. AK-47 is an automatic assault rifle, so you can go rat-a-tat-ta with it. It has 30 rounds in the magazine and 90 more in reserve. AK-47 costs $2,700, and that is not expensive. The only automatic rifles that costs less are FAMAS and Galil AR. But AK is much more powerful, we all know that, right? You can only buy an AK-47 playing for the T side. You will earn $300 each time you make a frag with this weapon. The great thing about AK-47 is that it's one of the few in-game weapons that allows you to get a headshot kill with a single bullet. And it doesn't matter if the opponent is wearing his tinfoil hat or not. If you stand or crouch, then the first bullets fired from AK-47 will be very accurate. But then recoil starts to affect your shooting and crosshair goes upwards. If you are relatively new to the game and your shooting skill is not yet perfect, then a good option for you would be to shoot by tapping or bursting 3-4 rounds. But if you need a longer burst, then drag your crosshair down by a bit. The spread won't be that large and you will be able to control it. Sometimes you try to get a headshot, but you cannot lock onto the opponent's head. No worries, just try to hit the enemy 4 times in the body, and that will be enough for a frag. Never buy an AK-47 if you didn't buy an armor. You will be too vulnerable, so just don't do that. Okay, those were the very basic things every CSGO player needs to know about AK-47. And if you think that one of your friends might need this information, then it will be really nice of you to share it with him. I am sure he will appreciate it a lot. And now, we are gradually diving deeper. Don't move and shoot using AK-47. Well, of course, you can't crouch or stand all the time during the round, but you can strafe. Move sideways, then stop by tapping the opposite direction key, which will end the momentum of the movement. So now you can fire, and then strafe again. If you decide to spray with AK-47, you need to remember this. The first 7 to 9 rounds will follow a relatively straight trajectory above the crosshair. But the following bullets will slightly deviate to the right and left. The spray pattern of AK-47 resembles the shape of a mushroom or the letter T. So how can you handle it? While spraying, slowly drag down the crosshair and then slightly sway from side to side, trying to compensate the spray. Knowing the spray pattern is a crucial thing that will significantly improve your shooting results. A great thing is that any headshot is lethal if you shoot with AK-47. If the enemy wears no helmet, he will take 143 HP damage. The helmeted one will take 111, but it's a frag anyway. And what about hitting the body? If your enemy wears no Kevlar, you're gonna deal 35 HP damage by hitting his chest and arms, 44 HP by hitting the stomach, and 26 HP by hitting the leg. Yeah, you heard it right. Shooting in the stomach deals more damage than hitting the chest. Now, if the enemy has a Kevlar vest, the damage will be distributed as follows: 27 HP in the chest, 34 the stomach, and 26 the legs, as armor doesn't cover them. So, if your enemy has no armor, on most occasions 3 hits will be enough to take him down, while fragging an armored guy would usually take 4 bullets. So, if you are playing with an AK-47, it is very important to wear both Kevlar and helmet to avoid a one-tap frag from the CT side. Remember that using an AK-47 significantly reduces your movement speed. Compared to many other types of weapons, this rifle will make your movement much slower. While you are firing, you can see traces coming out of the barrel. You should keep that in mind if you plan to spray in smoke. Due to the traces, experienced players can easily recognize your location, and then you will get smoked. An AK-47 is a universal weapon. Use spray for close targets, burst for mid-range and taps for distant targets. As easy as that. I'd also like to give you a piece of advice. If you won the first round of the game, do not buy AK in the second. You can buy a farm gun instead, which will bring you twice as much money for each frag. This will also help you to avoid the risk of leaving your AK to your enemies, which would be a real fatality. Sync your buy with other teammates. Even if you can afford buy an AK, don't do that until you know that your mates can provide you a powerful support. Do not reload too often. Evaluate how many enemies surround you and how safe is your hideout. If you still have some 15 rounds in the magazine, there is no reason to reload. Do it only when you are completely safe. By the way, do you have a friend who reloads every 3 seconds? Share his nickname in the comment section and I will pray to the CS gods for his soul. If you are experienced enough, then playing for CT side, you should always try to save AK-47 for yourself or for your teammates, cause one tap rules. The recoil control is easier to do when you crouch, but being crouched makes you the most vulnerable. Instead, you can crouch and move. Spraying this way is also quite easy. Practice this method with bots or on recoil maps once in a while. This might be a real game changer for you. Reloading AK-47 goes much faster compared to M4. For example, it takes 2.4 seconds. This allows you to get back in action faster than your enemy. Do you remember me saying that an AK-47 can guarantee you a frag if you hit the enemy's head? Well, it's not 100% true. Sorry, bruh. If you shoot enemy through a wall or some other obstacle, then it will partially absorb the damage. So stay focused and don't celebrate a headshot too early. Another important point is that the damage in CSGO directly depends on the distance. In case of AK-47, the damage decreased by 2% every 500 units. It's the distance you can cover in 2 seconds when running with a knife. If you are shooting a target which is more than 11 seconds of running away from you, then you won't be able to get a frag with a single bullet. But the good news is that competitive maps do not provide such distance with a clear shot, so no worries. Distance also seriously affects your rifle's accuracy. Let's put it this way, the manufacturer only guarantees a precise shot if it is fired from a range that doesn't exceed 21.7 meters, which is approximately 450 units. So if you have missed from a longer distance, there is no one to blame. To have the widest view angle, you should stand as far from the corner as possible. This will allow you to spot your enemy faster. In fact, everything is not that simple. If you are reading your opponent well, you can set your crosshair on the pre-fire in advance. In that case, you may use a variety of movement options like wide strafes or crouch peaks to your advantage. The sound of the AK-47 fire is kinda loud, so you can mask other sounds with it. For instance, you can mask a jump landing sound or a sound of a flying flashbang. Use it to distract your enemy. Even if it doesn't work out, everybody's gonna consider you a pro. Tell us what other cool tricks do you know, and for sure I will mention them in one of the upcoming videos. The rifle's rate of fire is 600 rounds per minute. It is faster than SG553, equal to M4A1S and AUG, but slower than M4A4, Galil and FAMAS. AK traces are visible every third shot of the spray. I have no idea what you're going to do with this info, so I'm just keeping you updated. If you are low on health and your teammate with AWP is full HP, consider swapping devices with him. This will increase your chances to win. The main threat to the player with the AK-47 is a player with the AWP. If the AWPer has a sufficient distance and a clear vision, the AK player has almost no chances. One of the best options is to make a shoulder peek. Strafe sideways from around the corner so that only your shoulder is visible, and then quickly strafe back. This might provoke the sniper to make a shot, which he will most likely miss, and while he reloads, you'll have a 1.4 seconds to peek back and shoot. Always consider your crosshair placement. Your enemy may peek slowly or fast, jiggling or wide, whatever, he can even make a jump peek. You need to try to predict this before he peeks, and set your crosshair in the place where you would be able to hit him. If you hit an enemy, you will slow down his movement by at least 60%. The heavier weapon enemy carries, the slower he will be after the hit, so a guy with a knife would still move relatively fast. But I feel bad for a kamikaze with a Negev. Pistols are sometimes dropped as a fake flash, so you can peek at a distracted enemy. Simple ones did so by throwing an AWP, so why can't you try doing the same with an AK? Especially if you are low on ammo. Be creative. You can also try to fake a jump landing sound by dropping AK from heights. This might help you on, for example, Overpass Heaven or similar sports. Alright mates, I've tried my best to teach you all the things I know about AK-47, so please be generous to give this video a big like and hit the subscribe button, and I promise you to continue filling this channel with a whole bunch of cool videos. Thank you in advance, it was your boy Leo from CS.MONEY, goodbye.